Hello, everyone. Hello and welcome. It is I, troopersjp, and thank you for joining me as I play through Sundial Games' 2026 quest calendar, The Souls of Saraku. And you are joining me today, which is Wednesday, February the 4th, 2026, also known as Wednesday Snow's End 4. Here we are playing through this 365-day solo RPG. And when last we met our shadow elf bone caller, we were able to successfully slip away from the crumbling dark citadel. I hope, and let's see what the day brings to us. The tower sits in the wake of devastation from the battle of the dark citadel. It will need a new leader, someone to rebuild it to its former glory. Congratulations, you've gained enough experience to increase your villain's level. Follow the instructions for leveling up. Okay, so I think the last two sessions were a little bit short, but this one will probably be a little bit longer because we are leveling up, which is very cool. I will note that since I'm playing a custom character, I'm going to be using the custom leveling up rules for the game, and that's what I'm going to do. So let's see what the calendar says, and let's see what we can do in addition. So, all heroes, increase your hero's level to 2. The custom app is not out yet, so we can't use the app on the phone. I could use the app on the phone if I were being one of the pre-made characters, but since I'm a custom character, we're still waiting for the premium content to come through. So once I can put this on the phone, I will, but at the moment, we're still doing it on paper. So, all heroes, increase your hero's level to 2 already. You have 2 points to allocate however you choose to increase any of your hero's traits: strength, dexterity, constitution, intellect, wisdom, charisma. So, here's my current thought process. Spend 1 point to increase something that I am excelling at, and then spend 1 point to increase something that I'm not as good at. So my 2 main stats for me are charisma and dexterity, because I'm kind of like, serrated blades. I think I'm going to increase my dex from a +2 to a +3. Why? Because I was parkouring all over the place, and I feel like I've been pretty physical, so we'll do that. And I have 1 more +1, and my instinct is to increase my constitution, but we failed at that check, and we did succeed at a wisdom check to figure out the battle plans. And I kind of like the idea of Shade, because Shade Merchant is sort of like a spellcaster, sort of ish. And I like the idea that I think, because my wisdom is currently at a +0, and I think we will make it a +1. We will choose to go with wisdom to follow the die roll because we were successful at that. And I think that that reflects what we have done so far. So, okay, good. Now we have a bunch of points to spend, and I am going to note a couple of things. They have automatic level ups for the 6 characters that tell you how you should level them up, but I can do whatever I want. But I'm going to, well, within reason. But I will note that it says that for Severin Mortis, they want him to add investigator and student, which is bonus to rolls, and then skeletal minions, which is a spell. For Izora Kronemeyer, survivalist arcane adept, adding in a spell called Vile Incantation. Kargoth Stormcleaver, the orc battlemaster, gets athlete and survivalist. That's 2 times. Gets the skull splitter ability and tactical strike. Nargle Nightbane gets survivalist, 3rd survivalist, and stealthy, and something called Gang of Thieves. Sacrifice a minion to add +2 to a single defense roll. I have that. But it's not called Gang of Thieves, it's called Minion Defense. Oh, that's right. In this game, they encourage you to rename your abilities to flavor them for your character. And Nargle has got Gang of Thieves. I bet I could rename that to be like what's that other one? Skeletal minions. Something like I could like do something like that. Well, I will think about renaming it in a moment. But so Zephyrine has Morgrave, the vampire, has got stealthy, student, and ferocious bite. Grimrot Slinktail has got stealthy, locksmith, and resilient. So I'm going to think about this, and I'm going to keep this in mind as we level up. So we've just done the first part, which is increasing our stats, and then we go, or attributes, I guess. Then we go, so at level 2, we have 20 points that we can spend to increase our stats. And hit point is 1 stat, defense is 1 hit point is 1 stat point. Increasing my defense by +1 is 3 stat points. Same for attack, and damage is 5. So my damage is a D8, and I don't like that. I feel like having a D8 makes it harder for me to avoid getting hit for stunning. So it says here we have a D8 damage right now, which is level 2. Increase your damage by moving up 1 level on the damage track. Do not increase your damage by more than 2 levels per villain level. Okay, there's a cap there. So what I'm going to say is let's spend 10 of our 20 points to increase our damage from D8 2 levels up, which is a D12. I think we should do that. D12 damage, because I would like to be able to hit more successfully here. And that makes us go from 20 stat points to 10. We only have 10 left. Okay, so I feel like we have a maximum of 16 hit points, which I think is pretty good. And I would like to increase my attack and defense. So if we have 10. So if we increase both our attack and our defense by 1, that will leave them at +3 and +3. And that would leave us with 4 points we could put in our hit points. We are not allowed to increase our defense or our attack by more than 2 per level. I feel like what we should do is increase our attack by 2 and then our defense by 1. Although one of the I currently have a +2 in defense, but one of those comes from the shield, and what happens if I lose the shield? We have a lot of bonuses to defense, though. We have, like, our minion defense, and we have a defense surge, so I'm going to spend 6 of those points, of the 10 left, to increase my attack bonus to +4, and then I'll spend 3 more points to increase my defense bonus to a +3, and technically it's a +2, but another +1, which leaves me with 1 point left, which I will use to increase my max hit points to a 17, which means that I should be able to, since I was at what, 12 hit points, I get to increase it by 1, so I should be at a 13 hit points right now. Okay, so the stat part of our character creation is done. Good. Oh, recommendations. It is best to spread out the stat points to buy different stat increases instead of only increasing a single stat. Consider rebalancing your stats if you've found yourself dying too often. I think I'm okay. So then we get to surges, because I'm a surge caster. Okay, so I go up to I will now have 2 surge points. Maybe I wonder if I should put the number of surge points I have somewhere on the overlay. We'll see. We will see. I have 2 surge points. That's great. And now that makes me feel good. Now we can buy abilities. We have special abilities, and at level 2, I have 4 ability points that I can spend. There's a bunch of general abilities that you can get, and then there are specific ones, like if you're a spellcaster or a warrior or a surge caster. So let's see. Ability name. The names of many abilities below are generic in their description of what they do. To encourage immersion in the story and a better connection to your villain, we suggest come up with a name that suits your character. Consider your villain's race, class, and weapon. For example, change the name of attack boost to Fierce Strike. Okay, so there are there's skills, skill abilities, boon abilities, gold abilities, notoriety, minion, exchange, combat rerolls, trait rerolls, battle miscellaneous, and then specific ones. I'm going to go and look at the surge caster ones first because that's, your specialty, your specialization. Let's see, what do we have that might be interesting as a surge caster? Okay, so it's actually okay. Spellcasters have a really long list of things they can do. Surge casters, not so much. At the moment, we have Presence Surge. Use uh, one surge to add a D4 to a single Constitution or Charisma roll, and then we have Defense Surge. Use one surge to add a D4 to a single defense roll. Okay, so what I'm looking at right here is there are some expensive surges. One is Dexterity Surge, and it uses two surges. Add your dexterity modifier to 1d20 roll on the page that does not involve dexterity, which means I get a +3 to one non-dex d20 roll. I'm going to take that. It's called Dexterity Surge. And we're going to have to give it a good name. Something like maybe like one with shadows or something, because I'm like shadowy. I'm a shadow elf, so I'm very slippery. We'll call it something like um I don't know yet, but like Shade of the Shadows, something like this. Um so it lets me add my dexterity to some other roll. So something like um s- shadowy um I like the word slip, I like the word shadow. Let's go with something like shadow form. We will call this shadow form. Shadow form. Okay, I have 2 points left. There are other surge abilities, but I'm not gonna pick any of those because, again, I only have 2 surge points, and I would like to diversify. So let's see. I'm interested in minions, and that could be very good. But also, I was noting when we were looking at the other heroes, the other villains, their level ups, stealthy and survivalist sort of showed up, and I wonder if that's a sign. So I'm going to think about that a little bit, just yeah, okay. So with these skills, there are a bunch of these. We have investigator, which gives us a +2 when rolling to search and investigate. I was thinking about um, getting arcane adept since I'm a magic user, which would give me rolls to a +2 to rolls to deal with magic. But I also note they do have survivalist, which is a +2 to all rolls to endure long journeys. Um, yeah, and I could get both of them, but then I couldn't get anything else. Let's hold that. Boons. There's one called Second Boon. You can acquire and save a second boon, which I feel like might be really important and good, right? So let's hold that one. There's a bunch of stuff that's about gold, where you trade gold for other things. I think I'll hold off on that because I don't know what gold will do for us yet. Notoriety. We can use notoriety for things, but it costs 3 points for those, so we'll have to wait. Minions. I was looking for this. We have one called Gain Minion. It's a 2-point cost. When you defeat an enemy in combat, roll a d6. On a 5 or a 6, you gain 1 minion. And that's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. I already have minion defense. There's minion attack and damage. I think. Hmm. If I took that minion, gain the minion, that would be it. Um, Oh, but it's so thematic, you know what I mean? I could call the gain minion Rise from the Dead, and so if I kill a minion and I roll a 6, I'm able to resurrect them as, like, a skeleton who follows me around, And that would be really cool. Um, oh, I really shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that because I should do other things. It's hard, everyone, because I want to be able to raise people from the dead. I just feel like that might be really exciting. Uh, I should pick that survivalist one or the extra boon one or or like survivalist and arcane adept. Uh, am I making the right choices? I don't know. Let's see. It says here, recommendations. Not all damage comes from combat. Don't underestimate the power and usefulness of the skill abilities such as athlete, investigator, persuasive. I know. I feel like they're probably going to be really useful. Who doesn't like a +2? I probably should get them. Consider getting abilities that play in harmony together and with the stats you choose to advance. Consider planning out the abilities you may purchase for future levels, but be flexible if they're not working out. And feel free to change your abilities if they don't seem to work out very well for you and you die too much. So, look, I feel like I should probably take survival and um, arcane adept and not the minions. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take arcane adept because I am a spellcaster, and I'm going to take survivalist because I just feel like this might become really important. Oh man, I just want to raise the dead. We will raise the dead the next level. Okay. And arcane adept, I think I will call bone caller or something. And then survivalist, I will call um, something like something creepy, like, um, endurance of the dead or something like this. I'm not dead. Shade is not dead, but I feel like he's able to like channel skeletons. I just, I'm gonna come up with better names for it, and then I will tell you. But I will announce it when I really decide. But I think that's it. I think we've leveled up. We did. We leveled up, and that actually is the end of this session. Thank you for. I really want to be able to raise. I want to raise skeletons so bad. Nope. No, we're going to go and be practical for now. Arcane adept because it's backstory, and also I think survivalist because I feel like it might be important. So, because all the other villains are picking, like, over half of them are picking up survivalists. So I figured let's do that. So, yeah, that's it. So thank you so much for hanging out with me as I play Shade Murdstone, the Shadow Elf Bone Collar, in this our session of The Shades of Saraku. If you enjoyed it, give a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you tomorrow as we find out. I don't know what happens next. But also, leveling up was pretty cool. That was pretty neat. I can't wait to level up again. Huh? Okay, bye everybody.